Okay, good morning, everyone. It is week 1, day 5 of Web Fundamentals. I am your substitute teacher for the day, Josh. We will do our algos first, and we'll have some jokes at the end, okay? So this morning, the algorithm that you're working on is not going to be on the platform. Sean wanted me to share this one instead. He determined that you guys had enough practice with the algo for this morning in programming basics, so he's come up with these and he's wanted me to share these. So let's go ahead and look through this content, and I'll go ahead and share it on Discord. Let's go ahead and read it first. Recreate the built-in .slice method. Okay, given an array, a start index, and an end index, return a new array that only has the elements from the start index, inclusive, and the end index, exclusive. Okay, a new array that only has elements from the start index to the end index. So we have this array, const array 1 equals ABCDE. Start index is 0, end index is 5. So we get an array of A, B, C, D, E, because those are 5. This one here is array 2. It's got 5 as well, but the start index is 0 and the end index is 1. So start is 0, end is 1. So the only thing that you receive back is this A. In this case here, if the start index is 1 and the end index is 2, start index is 1, which is B, end index is 2 on that C, then the result that we receive back is this expected 3, this B. Okay. So that's how we want to create a function that receives a start index, receives an end index, and then receives and then prints out a new array based on that start and end. Okay, because we said negative 100 and 100 on this one, you see how negative 100 is way to the left, 100 would be way to the right, so all 5 fit in this scope of start and end. Okay, if it starts and ends at 0, then we get an empty array. If it starts and ends at 1, we get an empty array as well, because if it starts and ends in the same place, there's no value that it can slice out of the array. Okay, so that's the first one. There's another one. This next one is the concatenate one. All right, so you have an array A1, and so let's actually read this comment here. Array concat dot push allowed array name dot push, and then you can push the item in the parentheses, whatever you want to push. And who can tell me what dot push does? Can anyone remember?
Adds the item to the end of the array.
That's right. That's correct. Okay. So we have that function that we can use, that inbuilt function. Then we want to replicate JavaScript's concatenate inbuilt function, which combines 2 arrays into one new array. Okay, so you take an input, which is the 2 arrays, and the output is one new array with the items of both in the original order. So let's look at this first variable. Const r a1 equals an array of A and B, two strings. And we have const RB1, which is an array of 1, 2, 3. The result that we want to receive back when we're done writing a function here, it should be AB123. Okay, let's look at this order. 1, 2, 3, and then AB. So the result should be 1, 2, 3, AB. Does anyone have any questions about this one? Okay, fantastic. Well, I'll go ahead and copy and paste this code into the Discord and we'll get started. Let's go ahead and start the breakout groups now as well. Okay, welcome back, everyone. Let's go ahead and share some of our progress. So who would like to share for their results for the first algorithm?
You guys want to do it? I'll do the presenting, Sabrina.
Give me 1 second.
We only finished the first one.
Okay.
Okay. Can you scroll up a little bit? Okay, just so I can see the top of the function. Thank you. All right, so so like think about this. Well, okay, we got the slice function. Yeah, we made a new array and then made the for loop starting at the start index that they sent to the function and ending at the end index that they sent. So and we had to put the if statement there because for the arguments that were -100 and 100, they were outside of the array, so it came back as undefined. So the if statement here only pushes the relevant elements of the array into the new array if they are not undefined. So that's it.
Okay, awesome. And why did you have that if statement checker if items at I is not equal to undefined?
Because when they sent arguments that were outside of the array, it came back as undefined.
Okay. In which instance did we have that? Arguments that were outside of the array?
On one of those examples, they put -100 and +100 as arguments. And so it was a bunch of undefines.
Okay. So if we have I start at -100 and we have it end at 100, if it's larger than the size of the array, those outside the scope of the array of 0 to 4, that's going to be undefined, right? So let's go back down and let's run it without the if statement. I just want to show this for the groups that didn't do that if statement. So if we comment out line 53 and 55, just 55, the closing bracket, line 55. Right, so if we just do this without the if statement and we run that one specifically, I think there's something, what you're doing is highlighting everything and then you're clicking run. You should just have it, just click run by itself without highlighting anything.
It needs an extra squiggle squiggle parentheses right there. I think, yeah.
Okay.
Only one undefined there. There should be like 100 of them.
Okay.
Hold on, yeah, it was working. Hold on.
Okay. Okay. Well, we won't get into the details of why this code won't work. I see you guys have a certain way of
I think it's
highlighting.
because you missed the closing curly brace for the for loop. So if you stop scrolling for a second, see this right here, you commented out the closing curly brace for the for loop, and that extra curly brace should be deleted. That's why it was only running once, because you were returning on that first iteration.
Yeah, you caught it.
Okay. See, without the if statement checking what's undefined, we would have a whole bunch of undefineds, 100 to the left of the array, and then a whole bunch to the right. Yeah, and that's why we have that. We need that if statement there to check if it's undefined for the groups that didn't do that. Okay, so great job, you guys. Thank you for sharing the progress on that one. Now, the second problem, would any other group would like to share? And not everyone at once. I know someone's done it, so let's go ahead and
Yeah.
share.
I'll
You
share.
can, Joe. Oh, okay, that works.
Thank you.
Can everyone see that? All right, so
Yes.
for the concat function, we just created a return array,
Okay.
and then we pushed the elements from array 1 and then array 2 in order, and then just returned our return array. And let's see, go ahead and run that. Oops.
You got to highlight the function itself
Oh, yeah.
too, and the constants that define the inputs that are above it.
And that seemed to work.
Okay. So at the very bottom there, we have the result. Let's look at the code. Let's break it down. Go ahead and run me through this.
All right, so since we're returning a new array, we declare that at the beginning. So we just create that with an empty array literal. Then we loop through the first array that we're passed, and we just push all the elements. And then next we go through the second array, pushing each element. And that keeps it in order from array 1 to array 2. And then at the very end, we just return that array we created in the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Okay. Does anyone have any questions about how we achieve this one? What we have is an empty array. We have a for loop that goes through the length of array 1 and pushes to that empty array, and another for loop that goes to the array 2 and then pushes to the empty array as well, and then we just return it at the end. So it's pretty simple. Okay, so if we have no questions, we'll go ahead and start our break here, and then we'll go ahead and get started with our lecture. So let's go ahead and take a break. It is, I'll go ahead and just create a timer here. So stop the recording.